my beef with anime manga culture as of late. First point, Yuki Holder is finally getting an anime adaptation, even though, as a manga, it came out around the same time as My Hero Academia did when it was a manga. They both came out around the same time, but Yuki Holder is getting anime adaptation seasons late. And if you don't know what Yuki Holder is, it's the sequel to Negima. And if you don't know what Negima is, then this is irrelevant to you. Next point, where's Vegeta's power-up? Like, all the training he's done, and I'm pretty sure at this point he's done a lot more training than Goku, it makes no sense that he has nothing to show for all his training. Like, god damn it, he's broken the hyperbolic time chamber twice. In DBZ, Gohan unlocking Super Saiyan 2 was so great to us because it was someone other than Goku finding a new way to get stronger for once. Speaking of Dragon Ball Z, power levels in anime and manga. You should only put strict rules and or boundaries on your narrative if you're gonna follow them. Breaking the rules breaks the narrative. There's a reason why Dragon Ball Z, the granddaddy of this concept, abandoned it. There's this manga, The User of Golden Words, that this up. Because they're in a fantasy world, a full-on different world, but it has JRPG aspects to it. As in, you can pull up a screen showing your skills and stats and level. It was its own fantasy world, but the fact that they do this, even though they're not a video game world, just unimmersed me from it. And the whole power leveling to try to make it matter, they're kind of inconsistent. They don't follow their own rules when it comes to the power levels, because you have lower level people beating higher level people. It's just, there was no point to put that aspect, there was no point to put that concept in your manga. There's this other manga called Blood Lad that makes this passable, because this is a series that blatantly references Dragon Ball Z. The protagonist tried to do a Kamehameha in one of his boss fights. Like, are you serious? It's funny, like so many other anime and manga references because the protagonist was a fanboy, a bit of an otaku. The maker of the manga obviously had respect for Dragon Ball Z, and it made sense why there was a power leveling system in the manga called, instead of calling it power level, they call it organs, which it's unique, and I found it fascinating because it's a measurable unit that makes sense in and fits into this type of yokai and oni world, and it's something you could probably measure in real life to some extent. So I actually liked it, even though power leveling still sucks as a concept to use in manga or storytelling. I liked it in this manga. Moving on, I hate lolly culture. It's essentially glorifying baby fucking. Next point, manga shading to anime coloring. Have you ever, like, read a manga and you thought a person's hair color was a certain way because of the way it was shaded, and then when it was adapted to an anime, their hair didn't really fit the shading it got in the manga? Let me give you some examples. Akume ga Kiru, the manga, its main character has zero hair shading, like none. So it's implied his hair is white or blonde, or a light color. In the anime, his hair is straight up brown. Not even a light brown, just brown. In Yuki Holder's manga, this girl named Kiri, who essentially is able to reset herself after dying, has a medium shade in her hair in the manga, implying brown or mid-range color. But in the anime, her hair is blonde like Evangeline's, whose hair isn't shaded in the manga. Evangeline's hair isn't shaded in the manga, but Kiri's is, and yet they both have essentially the same hair color. Are you f***ing kidding me?